Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Annie and this is Unity Consciousness. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'd like to welcome our new subscribers, any new subscribers since the last video was published, and thank those of you who are returning again for this video. This is not my weekly update, my energy update. I also want to throw out a huge thank you to Jen0714, who inspired me through message this morning to put together a video today relative to the intensity that a lot of us are feeling right now and the reasoning behind it, at least in my perspective. So let me start by restating the purpose of why I started this channel. My metaphysical gifts have afforded me the ability to understand multidimensionality. My earthly gifts have allowed me to be a good communicator on the realm in which I exist in physical form. Together, those abilities allow me to be a multidimensional translator. I am a medium. I feel energy very strongly. I know I had someone post a couple of videos ago. They did not understand that I can feel energy, planetary energy. And yes, that is a gift that I have and have had for, well, my entire life, this cycle anyway. I started this channel because when we were thrown into lockdown, there was a situation unfolding that was difficult to understand on so many different levels. And truly, it's the ascension from three-dimensional awareness to five-dimensional awareness. And it certainly started before COVID restrictions were in place. But I understood from a very high level or understanding what the big picture was. And I had peace in knowing that that level of understanding. I had peace in that. And the purpose of this channel was so that I could offset the burden of the collective, perhaps by using my abilities to be this multidimensional translator, so that I could take that energy, sit with that energy, feel that energy, and then explain that energy in a way that most people could understand. My purpose was never financial. My purpose was never to gain followers. It was not. If it was, Lord, I would be missing the mark tremendously. I do not gain any financial benefit at all to having this channel. And that was, again, not my goal. If it was, I'd be failing miserably and would have stopped already. My purpose is to help people understand what's happening from a very universal perspective. And so that with that knowledge, you can find solace and peace within that, knowing the purpose of what's happening. So that's why I do this. So let's jump right into the intensity. So Jen0714, again, I thank you so much, because I have personal clients in the world of metaphysics that I deal with on a regular basis, and family members that I have helped, as well as friends that I have helped with this translation of energy for quite some time. And I'm hearing there's an uptick in that intensity and what people are feeling currently. It was something that was speculated, and I'd like to try to help provide some, again, solace, peace through that understanding, and also education of what we can do with this energy now that these trigger points are seemingly increasing in intensity, and will continue to do so for a short period of time. I think we kind of have to go back before we go forward. I'm going to do my best to keep this short, so I know time is of the essence for so many. Let's go back to 2020. Back in January of 2020, Saturn and Pluto were conjunct, and many astrologers have said that that was truly the beginning of the COVID, the dynamics of COVID, the lockdown, and all of the challenges that would come along with that. Now, as we know, COVID has been around long before January of 2020, but this was relative to humans, right? and the global hysteria that then kicked off in March of 2020 with the lockdowns. Shortly thereafter, within a year, we started recognizing as a collective the square between Saturn and Uranus. And this square's purpose was to help us understand the difference between old versus new, traditional versus innovative, basically 3D versus 5D. And we had a choice to make. We could understand the differences between the two, and then lock into what reality we wanted. The timelines were beginning to shift and to split. Where did you want to be on that three-dimensional timeline, or did you want to be on the five-dimensional timeline? That's what that process over a year of that square, what we were being shown so that we could engage and use that to our advantage, locking into which of those timelines suited you best. Now, this past March, planet Pluto has been in Capricorn since 2008. Let's back up even further. So since that time, we've seen financial restructuring. Pluto's purpose is to expose power dynamics that have been bastardized. I can't think of a better word. I'm sorry for that. But and in the sign in which it sits. So Capricorn is all about top-down authority structures, government systems, finance systems. And Pluto's transit of that sign was to completely expose any power dynamics that were inappropriate within that sign. Okay? So Pluto left Capricorn back in March, been there since 2008, and moved into Aquarius. So since that time, those of us who are energetically sensitive, and also everybody else in the collective, have begun to see power to the people. We've begun to see, especially those that truly engaged and embraced that five-dimensional understanding and awareness of equality and power to the people and power in communities, and not top-down authority, which was necessary for a period of time, but it's not necessary anymore. So those of us that really engaged that five-dimensional awareness and understanding saw the power to the people and became very comfortable in that understanding. It felt really, really good to us. But it also shined a spotlight on three-dimensional understanding, that fear-based traditional top-down structures, and how dysfunctional that was. Okay, and now that Pluto is retrograded back into the sign of Capricorn, we're reaching the corners now. We're dusting the cobwebs that have been there, that maybe we've missed during Pluto's transition Pluto's transit through the sign of Capricorn. We might have missed a couple spots as we were cleaning that up, and now it's time for us to go back with intensity, finding those cobwebs, finding the dysfunction in those power dynamics so that they can be cleaned up. Why? Why is that? That is because the nodal shifts are going to occur also in mid-July. So again, intensity is building. We've got Pluto is now retrograded back into the sign of Capricorn. Also, I'd like to note that there is a full moon in the sign of Capricorn, which will be the last full moon in the sign of Capricorn while Pluto is there, also building the intensity of all of this, okay? And then the nodal axis is going to shift mid-July into North Node of Aries, South Node of Libra. What's sitting in the latter degrees of Libra? Haumea. I would like to point you to a video if you have not seen it. There's a video, and I'll put a link to it below, of when Haumea went into Scorpio. Haumea, which is a outer planet Kuiper Belt object, has a very long cycle. It takes a very long time for it to get all the way around the zodiac. As a matter of fact, I don't know that we'll see any repeating cycles unless our lives become endless. Needless to say, there's an entire video on Haumea moving from Libra into Scorpio, which she has now retrograded back into Libra. But that video will help you understand what Haumea is doing for us now. Haumea is the Hawaiian goddess of fertility. She can birth from all orifices. And she is sitting what soon will be the south node of Libra, meaning as Pluto squares the nodes, which it has done since March. Yes, we're halfway through this transit. More good news there. But as Pluto is squaring the nodal axis, helping us understand three-dimensional energy, five-dimensional energy, the north node, the collective, where we want to move as a collective, Haumea is squaring the south node, sitting at the south node, Pluto, so that we can fully understand that new Earth is being birthed. At the same time, the old three-dimensional paradigm is literally disintegrating. Okay, so that's the good news here. And we are a powerhouse as an individual, but as a collective, we are a powerhouse in that effort. Now, let's talk about this intensity and what you can do with this intensity, especially as this full moon energy continues to build. This full moon, we'll talk more in tomorrow's weekly update about this full moon in Capricorn that's going to occur on the 3rd of July. But I fully believe, even with the nodal axis shift, that this energy is going to continue to intensify. So as you're triggered, if you're triggered by this energy, what can you do? Well, first, and I'd like to make it very clear, if I could please, take a moment and appreciate what a spiritual powerhouse you are as an individual. You've made the choice to click on this video. You've made the choice to have conscious understanding of the ascension process, right? You want to root in unity consciousness, which is also why the channel is named Unity Consciousness. So you are a spiritual powerhouse and a huge player in this game, no doubt about that. The trigger is probably coming from the dichotomy between 3D and 5D. Remember, Pluto has retrograded back into Capricorn, and we're going to shift nodal axis cycles. So there's a lot of cleaning going on, a lot of unearthing to fear-based 3D reality into 5D trust dynamics. So you're more than likely being triggered by things that are power dynamics that are out of whack. Fear-based reality versus trust-based reality, fear-based reality versus heart-centered knowing. Now, you are a spiritual warrior, no doubt. We've seen how power to the people can help so many, and truly unity consciousness is, in my humble opinion, the way to be. Now that Capricorn's moved back, or excuse me, Pluto has moved back into the sign of Capricorn, showing us more power dynamics of the, or the inequality of the power dynamics as it sat in the sign of Capricorn or with the sign of Capricorn. We know how good that five-dimensional energy, power to the people can be for the collective. That's also a trigger point. So you may be like, how can this be? This is so unbelievable. I thought we moved forward. Again, there's a purpose intended here. It's so that we can take a look back and go, yep, we're headed in the right direction, validating where we want to be and where we want to go. Now, remember that Saturn and Uranus taught us that we have a choice to anchor in 3D or 5D. Which one are you going to choose? Is that going to be 3D fear-based or is it going to be 5D trust-based? We have to stay in our truth. We have to trust. Please trust. I shouldn't say we have to. That's very, very brave of me to tell you what to do. So sorry about that. My apologies. My recommendation would be to engage in the five-dimensional heart-centered consciousness. Spread love, spread consciousness and awareness anywhere you can. Now, finally, by being aware of these choices, by being aware of the spiritual powerhouse that you are, please understand that you've literally broken the cycle of reaction. And you've replaced it with responding out of love. And that in itself is going to engage this ascension process that much more quickly. And then finally, transmute that energy. Transmute that energy, because the awareness is key, but transmutation takes that energy and returns it back to source. I've also prepared a transmutation energy in the past. I'll put a link up to that below. Goodness gracious. But Those are the things that you want to do if triggered. Awareness is first. Awareness is key. You recognize the situation, you recognize the choice you have within the situation, you recognize the light that is awareness within that situation. Your response versus reacting. Just simply by having awareness, you are responding. Then transmute the energy. If it's a situation that you can be further harmed, you and or your psyche can be physically harmed by remaining in that environment, healthy detachment is also necessary. So awareness leads to response, leads to transmutation, and then healthy detachment if necessary. So I guess in summary, we are all feeling those labor pains, which are the triggers. Those are our labor pains of Haumea birthing new earth, literally birthing new earth. It's been happening for a while and it's going to continue. She's helping, and we as the spiritual warriors that we are helping her clear away the old paradigms that are no longer supported, so that we can all exist in unity consciousness. Be proud of yourself. Be very, very, very proud of yourself. This is very new energy for us. So many of us have no idea what we're going to do with it. We have no idea what to do with it. You know why? Because we haven't before. We haven't existed in five-dimensional understanding, five-dimensional awareness. So please be patient with yourself. If you don't know what to do with it, it could trigger a 3D fear-based reaction in yourself. Take a moment. Be aware. I've not done this before, and that's okay. Be very proud of yourself. You are a spiritual warrior. There's no doubt about that. If you get overwhelmed with any of this energy that may be rising up, as the 3D paradigms are no longer supported, get out in nature. I can tell you, Haumea will meet you there. And if you can channel the energy of Haumea, perhaps taking your shoes off or touching a tree, you can truly feel the new earth being birthed and allow those triggers to exist, maybe not within yourself, but you can transmute that energy back up to source for the greater good of all. If you have any questions, please post them in the comment section below. I hope to get a video out tomorrow that will discuss the energy upcoming. This is going to be a very tense week. There's no doubt about it. We've got a square between Uranus and Mars that will trigger all kinds of fast-paced, out of the blue, shocking things. So it is important to stay as grounded as you can. Like I said, any questions or comments, post them in the comment section below. If you like this video, please do click the like button. If you know someone that can be helped by this video, please share this video with them. If you want to know when videos are being dropped, click the subscribe button. I thank you profusely for your time today. I thank you for being the spiritual warrior, and I love partnering with you so that we can really, really, really engage five-dimensional awareness, understanding, and birth unity consciousness with Haumea. Thank you so much for your time. Have a fabulous day. Namaste.